a loud burper? That's the other thing that there's a record for. Anybody do loud burping?
No, I'd need some fizzy pop.
Oh, Sam. That's it. That sounds like a frog with asthma.
That is something I never thought I would say. If you start lighting your farts... It's unbelievable.
I see you missed one of the shows.
Can you imagine if this was just Ross Noble's dream? Slipknot are on QI, Sandy gets out, she's hosting now, she burps, then she lets it out.
Is this actually happening?
Well, the world's two loudest burpers, and I like that it's come down to two, are currently locked in a duel. The record was set by a man from Essex, surprisingly. He's there on the right. That's Paul Hunn, 109.9 decibels.
No way.
Yeah, that was in February, and immediately it was broken by Neville Sharp, who comes from a town I want to go to in Australia called Humpty Doo.
Humpty Doo? Yeah, I've been to Humpty Doo, yeah.
Have you?
Yeah, and they had that guy on the telly.
Right.
And they were going, we've got the loudest burper, and, you know, he's got... And he was... Yeah, because, you know, slow news there. And they went, do one for us now. But, like me, he needs to build up to it, and he couldn't perform that time in the morning.
Oh, no.
And everyone was going, oh, not sure if you really are any good at it.
Humpty Doo, though, it's the most Australian town I have ever heard of in my life. Their biggest tourist attraction is a statue of a boxing crocodile. And they're famous for the Humpty Doo virus. It's a virus for kangaroos, and it's named after Humpty Doo. So anyway, Neville Sharp beat Paul... This is the exciting battle between the two burpers. Neville Sharp beat Paul Hunn, and the day after, Paul, from Essex, broke back. He broke back with 117.9...
Oh, he's got that wrong. That's the other end.
He made 117.9 decibel belch, which is apparently louder than a Deep Purple concert in 1972, which broke the record for the world's loudest band and left 3 audience members unconscious.
They held the Guinness World Record.
Did they?
It was in the books, yeah. So that became the goal for everybody, and then Motorhead broke that. And now, apparently, a man's throat has done the same.
It's louder.
What the hell am I doing?
But with it...
Right, time for a look in Mother Toxvig's bumper book of neological novelties, I think. Here are some new names for things, but can you tell me what any of them are?
Adorkable.
Adorkable, do you know what it is?
Is that when somebody's, like, really into comic books, but it's quite cute?
It's somebody...
Manic Pixie Dream Girl syndrome.
Yeah. Adorably dorkish,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
socially inept, but charming with it.
Are these are new words that have recently... What's happening out here?
They're what's known as neologisms, so they are new terms that have entered the language.
Oh,
so these are...
I see.
Al desco is having your lunch.
Having a lunch at your desk.
A belfie. I can't remember what a belfie is. It's something
Belfie is where you take a selfie, but you have a bell.
No, it is a selfie, but what of? What part of you is a belfie?
Oh, my God.
Yes.
Really?
Your bell end.
It's...
I thought that was a dick pic.
It's your bottom.
Oh, your bottom?
Yes, it's a picture
What's
of
a
your...
bumfie?
A bumfie.
How's Belfie bum?
Tony, I didn't write them. I'm just telling you. These are all examples that have been included in the OED in
The OED
recent
have got to
years.
stop
they
adding
are
now.
just-
Stop adding.
It's like the OED has been taken over by a 14-year-old boy who's bored.
I like that one, Stoer Sukker.
Is that Scottish? Scottish?
Yes, it's to do with sucking. It's to do with sucking.
It's to...
Oh, it's
really?
so-
Is
it's
it?
something
I think
nasty
I'll
again.
leave the quiz now.
No, it's fine. It's a Scottish neologism for a vacuum cleaner. It's a stair sucker. A Stoer Sukker.
What's honkin' bonkers?
Honkin' bonkers, it just means amazing.
Is that the one you were thinking? That's the one I might take from you.
Yeah. What am I just going to throw into casual conversation?
The good thing about any of these words, if I hear someone using them, I can beat them to death with the OED, which is quite a hefty book.
Wabstead is another Scottish one for website.
What's cold press?
Cold press is a Scottish neologism for a fridge.
These are just Scottish words.
Does anybody know where the word quiz comes from? Because we're doing a kind of quiz.
I feel like I do know, but I can't remember.
Do we get a point for that?
Alan can have a point for that. I'm fine with that. Yeah, I think it's a perfectly
when
honest
you
thing.
say it, I'm going to go... What?
OK. We don't really know. So it used to mean a sort of eccentric person. How it has come to mean asking people questions for points, we don't really know. There's a story that Richard Daly, who was a theatre proprietor in Dublin in 1791, made a bet that within 48 hours he could get a word into common parlance. And it distributed the word quiz to be put up on walls all over Dublin, and it became part of the language.
Really?
But,
when they say the police are quizzing the suspect, that's wrong, isn't it?
no, that's from inquisitive, and inquisition. So that's a
Good.
separate...
You've got it. You're in the right chair. A little cold feeling then.
First up, a question on nautical names. Now, you each have got a hat. Put them on. There we go.
Sure. I mean, a lot of people would look stupid in this, but me.
So what I want to know is, as you look around the room, how many of you are genuine ship names? Banterer, we've got Ronnie's Spanker. And Flirt, we've got for Johnny, and Titan Uranus.
HMS Flirt.
When you said it out loud, then it all made sense.
Yes, sorry. Try to be polite. Titan Uranus. What do you reckon?
Spanker's got to be a ship out of a Carry On film, hasn't it?
Yes.
Reporting for duty, everyone. Welcome aboard the Spanker.
Oh.
Now, hands at the ready. Ooh, naughty.
But I happen to know, because of a naval connection.
Oh, what is
but
your
I
naval-
happen
what
to
is your
know
naval
that
connection
there
to
was...
I think I might have seen it online.
My brother is an admiral in the Navy.
Oh!
Yes.
Admiral.
So
And-
do you,
and
like,
my
know
father was a
all
commander.
Your father was a commander in the Navy?
Yeah.
So your brother's done rather better.
Yes, because he's got that insurance business on the side, doesn't
No,
he?
my dad backdoored in through the sort of merchant
Did he?
Navy.
A lot of them do, I've heard.
We'll tighten your anus.
If anything, the reverse, I find.
You look so innocent, and then it says tighten your anus. It's so fantastic.
Look at that, that's a fun if I went out on this tonight.
What do you reckon, Johnny? You reckon it's yours, HMS Flirt? Do you reckon it's a real thing?
Yeah, I reckon HMS Flirt could be the one.
Yeah, it could be.
yeah.
The others might have been nicknames.
A bit of fun amongst the
Nicknames
sailors.
for ships.
In fact, Spanker, Banterer and Flirt were all, or have been, all ships in the Royal Navy. Titan Uranus was there've been two merchant ships, actually. There was an oil tanker and an ore carrier. Lots named after animals. There's been kangaroo, gnat, weasel, zebra.
Is the downside to this not the... I mean, obviously, the Royal Navy, very proud history.
Yes,
but
fantastic.
occasionally ships get sunk and people die, and then you've got to report back. I'm afraid things did not go well. 60 souls lost on Titan Uranus.
Yeah, well, there are worse ones. Cockchafer.
Well, that is how a lot of the sailors died.
And HMS Pansy. And...
that's fantastic.
Happy Entrance. So, just to say. So have a quick look. Imagine you are at sea, and we've got, I don't know, say, HMS Cockchafer, coming at you in the dark, or possibly going away from you in the dark, OK? Can you tell which one it is? Coming towards you or going away?
Well, green towards you, red away?
Not quite. Anybody? Your brother's an admiral, for goodness sake.
Is one port and the other starboard?
One is
Is that
port and one
what
is
they're dealing
starboard, yes. Do you know which is which?
No.
No, it's quite good to know.
Does anyone know? Red is port. Red is port.
Yes, yeah, I could have told you that. OK. That's how you remember, like, port is red.
And green is sherry.
Green is starboard, and what you say is green to green, red to red, perfect safety, go ahead. So what you would know from this is that the boat is coming towards you, and that would be important information to have when you're at sea.
I definitely would have crashed into that.
Yeah. There is one of my favourite books of all time that you could read to avoid this happening. It was published in 1992, and it is called How to Avoid Huge Ships.
Who is this sold to? Small islands?
It went through several editions. What worries me is that they may have left stuff out in the first edition, and then they go, oh, that was the other thing I meant to put in. It's ranked as the third oddest book title of all time.
Oh, go on, what are the other two? Come on.
The second, number 2, Greek Rural Postmen and Their Cancellation Numbers.
Yeah, so what about the urban postman? I found a bit...
Who's that bothered? This is my favourite. Number 1, oddest book title of all time. People Who Don't Know They're Dead, How They Attach Themselves to Unsuspecting Bystanders and What to Do About It. You tell a knob from a yob. So we were talking about potpourri and potpourri. How would you know your upper class from your not-so-upper class?
Would they say, he's a yob? There's a noob and a yob.
It is absolutely to do with what you say. So in 1954, there was a linguistics professor at Aston University in Birmingham called Alan Ross, and he devised the terms you and non-you to distinguish speech patterns of the English upper classes and what we unfortunately call the lower social strata. For the following year, Nancy Mitford, the extraordinary one of the Mitford sisters, there she is on the right there with her sisters Unity and Diana, she picked this up in an essay and she said that nowadays you couldn't tell the upper classes because they were no longer cleaner, richer or better educated than anybody else. It was principally by language. And this caused tremendous anxiety in the middle classes. So the question is, would you use loo paper or toilet paper?
Bog roll. Well, do you know, that it really is an interesting question. I was away last week, and it was in Namibia, and I went up to the man, because we were camping, and I said, have you got any bog roll? And he went, what? Like, obviously it doesn't work in Namibia. And I was actually flummoxed, thinking, now, what do I say?
What did you do, mime?
Yes, I did.
Did you?
Rather than say loo roll, which is just, I know.
Here's an interesting fact about wiping your bum.
Yes.
I've worked this out on the last tour of mine, right? But half the population, right, when they're wiping the bottom, right, they stand up and hand goes back and they wipe, right? And the other half, they stay sat down and reach in and have a wipe. And the weirdest thing is, one half, until I just said it now, didn't even know the other half existed.
How did you get inspired to start this survey?
Yeah.
How did you know about the other people?
I think I just walked in on someone. Oh. And I was like, what are you doing? Like, this is how you wipe your bum. I went, it isn't. Watch this.
So this is a survey based on 2 people?
Then I started mentioning it.
Oh, you started mentioning it?
And I noticed that. Look, we'll do it now.
OK.
Right.
Come on, then.
If you stand up after you've finished and wipe your bottom, give me a cheer. If you stay sat down and reach in and wipe your bottom, give us a cheer. 50, 50. It's weird. It's weird.
I didn't think it was 50-50. I thought the ones who sit down were slightly camper noise.
When you go to a festival or any outdoor event, what is it that causes somebody to sit down on the lavatory and then completely mess up all the rest of it? You go, what shall I do with that? I'll throw that on the floor, then I'll completely unravel all the rest of the bog, and then somehow I'll get all that blue stuff all over the seat. Do you think, do you do that at home? I mean, how do you...
LSD, they're on LSD.
I think they might have known that you were behind them in the queue.
Every single one you ever go, they can't all imagine I'm in there. Although somebody did once push one of those things over when I was in it. Yes, and they did know it was me.
Did they?
But at least you can stand up. So for women, it's really difficult because you sort of have to hover, don't you? And I remember one time I went to the ladies and the lock didn't quite work. This is a very tricky moment for a woman because you have to sort of hover. And I'm so obsessed with not making a mess on the seat, I thought, oh, sorry, I'll just sit down. And as I sat down, the door burst open and a woman came straight in and she went, oh, I'm so sorry. And then she shut the door again and then she burst it open again and she went, you're Sally Toxby, can I... Give us a minute. And here's another coronation that was not without its controversies. Have a careful look at this and tell me what's not right. First of all, do we know which coronation it is?
Yeah, well, it's Queen Victoria.
So did anybody know what went wrong?
They crowned the wrong woman. A lady called Karen was crowned. She ruled for 80 years.
In a way, it's almost what happened. It's 5 hours it was. So, first of all, the Archbishop of Canterbury forced the coronation ring onto the wrong finger. Caused her severe pain, and they couldn't get it off afterwards. And 3 years later, he did exactly the same thing at her wedding. He was just not ring savvy, the Archbishop of Canterbury. Then the Bishop of Bath and Wells accidentally turned over 2 pages in the service book, and he cut out the whole section where they made her queen.
The whole section. That's surely the whole coronation, isn't it?
So
the bit where they make
the
her
coronation
queen.
was invalid, and in fact, she had left the abbey before they realised, and she had to come back and do it again. I love that. They had to do a retake. And then, as the lords were being presented to her, the elderly, rather aptly named Lord Roll, became globally famous for tripping over on the steps leading to the throne and rolling all the way down. Oh. But apparently she didn't endear herself to the public until that moment, and when Lord Roll fell down the stairs, she got up and tried to help him, and then after that they thought, oh, she's...
Because she was very young, wasn't she?
She was a teenager. I mean, it must have been an unbelievable thing. As this is non sequiturs, this doesn't lead me to wonder, why was Squirrel Nutkin such a lying bastard?
I should know this because I've been to the Beatrix Potter Museum.
Have you? So where's it in the Lake District somewhere?
Yes. It's quite good. If you like Beatrix Potter, it's amazing.
Yeah. So we've been talking about lying, we've been talking about faking orgasms.
It's to do with colour, is it?
Is it because he was ginger?
Well, Squirrel Nutkin, as you rightly point out, was a red squirrel, but most other squirrels tend to pretend that they buried their food to trick potential thieves. They dig a hole, they pretend to put a nut inside, and cover it up very quickly. All the time, the nut is actually still in their mouth. And then they also recache, so they bury nuts, and then they return to them soon afterwards, dig them up and bury them somewhere else. They sometimes do this 5 times with the same stash. But they did a study in 2008, almost a quarter of all squirrel burials of food at some sites, not of each other, were faked.
It's too late. You said squirrel burial, so now
they're gorgeous, but they're like...
They're mainly unmarked, but you do see little headstones occasionally.
But here's the thing, there has been a debate since at least 1884, and it rages on, whether squirrels remember where they hide their nuts, or whether they just hide as many as they can and then return to a likely place.
Define rages.
Well, there have been studies. Since 1881, there was one in 1991, a study done at Princeton.
Two.
So they don't have a conclusion?
No. The thing is, it rages on. It rages on. There was a fantastic story about a squirrel in 2015. A squirrel got locked into the bar of Honeybourne Railway Club in Worcestershire for the day, OK? It got drunk and caused £300 worth of damage. So the club secretary guy called Sam Boulter, he said that all he could find was broken glass and bottles knocked off shelves. There was beer all over the floor, there was money and straws scattered everywhere, and he found the culprit hiding behind a box of crisps, looking, he said, unsteady and worse for wear. How did the Danish government convince its citizens to multiply? This is one of my randy scandies.
You mean actually...
I do mean that.
Was there financial incentives?
There were incentives.
We all need incentives anyway, don't we?
What, to procreate?
Yeah. Or just, you know, the bit before that as well.
Right. I'm fine, but OK.
Incentivise me!
So I can narrow it down. It's actually a place called Tisted, which is in Jutland, so the mainland, the bit that sticks up from Germany. So what happened in 2015, the local authorities were going to close down the local school, and everybody was very upset in the local area. So they struck a deal that the people would procreate as much as possible if they kept the school and the leisure facilities open. Nothing says, I'm bringing sexy back like a council memo.
Did they all do it? Did they all have to have kids?
Well, as many as possible, so they were encouraged to have kids. I have to say, it's a lovely place, Tista. Not a lot to do. Number 3 on their own website of things to do in the area is visit the candle shop.
Sexy candles for around the bath.
Yeah. There's been lots of times before. Britain has had its own panics about falling populations because of the war and contraception and so on. So in 1921, the Daily Express ran a competition to find Britain's largest family. And the News of the World offered a free tea tray to any mother. Any mother who gave birth to her 10th child. Don't want your bloody tea tray, I'll take your head off with it. And the French still give medals for having large families. That's still a thing. The Médaille de la Famille Française. How many kids for bronze? What do you reckon?
6.
4 to 5. Silver, you get 6 to 7. Gold, 8+.
I thought you said 45 for a second.
There's so much wrong with that picture. I can't begin.
Go on.
Why are they creating a human bench for their 2 children?
That is worrying.
Have they glued their heads together? Maybe they're ventriloquists and that's how they hold their children. Just used to holding people like that.
When is Sun Day and how long does it last?
Oh, I'm not getting into that one. Someone else can do that.
Anybody to buzz? Yes, David.
Between Saturday and Monday, 24 hours.
Oh, dear. No, is the answer. So it's not Sunday, it is Sun Day.
Is
and
it the summer solstice?
It is one day in the year. Where might they be so thrilled to see the sun?
Oh, is it summer in Scotland?
Slightly further north.
Oh, is it when the sun appears in the end of the Arctic winter or something
Yeah,
like that?
it is. It's in a place called Umanak in northwestern Greenland. It takes place on February the 4th, and it's when the sun first appears after the winter, and it lasts for 6 minutes, but it is so exciting.
Farming's going well there, isn't it? Look at their garden. Come on, Titchmarsh.
Like,
Shout your stuff.
Looks like where the Thunderbirds live.
Why do we live here? I don't know.
And they celebrate that day. The school children take the day off and they have hot chocolate and donuts and so on, and they organise sites so that everybody can see the sun.
I bet you they still get their tops off when it comes out, like here.
Do you think?
I think just loads of middle-aged men go out just in their boxer shorts, just to get a bit of a tan.
Where does that happen?
Every park in the UK.
Speaking on behalf of middle-aged men, there's no way we would strip down to our boxers in any park.
You two are really making a lot of statements on behalf of all men this evening.
Coming from someone who sleeps in the boot of her own car.
Did anybody ever go to that fantastic exhibition at the Turbine Hall in the Tate called The Weather Project, where they just had a large sun? Did you see it?
Yeah. Oh, it was amazing.
I went to an exhibition at the Tate and it was on pop art, and there was a room that was set aside from everyone else because it was very explicit by this artist called Jeff Koons, who does basically high art but pornography. And this middle-class woman and her 2 kids came up, and the guy on the door stopped them and said, "This is for over 18s only, you can't come in." And the woman said, "I'll go in and have a look and I'll come back out and I'll tell you what I saw." So she went into the room and she came back out a split second later, completely ashen-faced. And I heard her lean down to these 2 kids and she said, "What happens between a man and a woman is a beautiful thing. What I saw in that room is of no help to anyone."
What's the best cure for nostalgia?
Is it actually living in the actual past and staying there? And then you don't need nostalgia because you're still living in it.
But wouldn't you be nostalgic for the 100 years before?
Yeah, would there not be a period? There's always going to be a period behind.
Oh, yeah.
Like even the Dark Ages.
Do you get nostalgic, Jerry?
Yeah. Smell.
Yeah.
If you smell something, it brings back a memory.
Straight away, isn't it?
Cigarettes in pubs.
Yeah.
Do you miss them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smell affects your memory part more than sight or touch or anything. It instantly affects your
Yeah.
memory.
My wife, when she smells beer on me, she knows where I've been.
Other things you were nostalgic for, Ellen?
I'm not a nostalgic person, no.
But that's probably good.
I think the future is going to be great. The past, whatever.
I'm nostalgic for when Alan used to be nostalgic. It was a lovely time.
Those were the days. Well, in the 18th and 19th century, it was seen as a deadly disease
Really?
to be nostalgic.
Oh,
it was
I
known as
agree.
Schweizkrankheit, or Swiss illness, because Swiss soldiers were apparently particularly prone to it. And in the American Civil War, more than 5,000 men were diagnosed with nostalgia, and 74 allegedly died from it. In fact, the Unionist army was forbidden from playing Home Sweet Home in case it brought on an attack.
The past makes you upset. I found, and when I wrote my book, this is not a plug, it's out of print, no one bought it. But it was part memoir. That meant a lot of going back through childhood memories, and it's not pleasant, it's not nice. It's much better to look forward. It hasn't happened yet. You can invent it. There's the only one thing I would like to have is my grandmother's trifle.
Oh, was it particularly good?
Oh, it was so good. She died in 1974. and it went with her. No one knew how to make it. I don't even know how she did it. No one knows. I said, grannies everywhere, write down all your recipes so that we can continue to have them.
Funny enough, I just bought a book for my kids for all the things that I've learnt from previous generations, and I'm starting to write the recipes down. I do think it's important.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Sorry, if you've just tuned in, this evening's episode was a tribute to Carrie, Jerry, Sandy and Alan, who all very sadly died of nostalgia.
Worked out what the best cure is. A Russian general came up with it in 1733.
Vodka? Did it involve vodka?
It didn't involve vodka. What he did was he warned the troops that the very first man to come down with a case of nostalgia would be buried alive. And cases plummeted. Yeah. The suspected causes of nostalgia were unfulfilled ambition, poor hygiene, coming from farming stock, and masturbation. Those were the...
I've got 2 of those.
Me too, and I've never been on a farm.
It was declassified as a disease as late as 1899.
What was?
Nostalgia,
no.
yeah. Say that's still troublesome, yeah.
I miss it.
Actually, it can be useful. It is thought to protect slightly against cold, so people can stand the pain of icy water for longer if they focus on nostalgic
writes this
memories.
stuff down? So you mean if you're trapped in a freezer by a gangland criminal, you just say to someone, do you remember when we weren't trapped in this freezer? You're going to make it?
No, I think you have to think about Grandma Davis's trifle, I think you have to.
I see what you mean, yeah.
What's the best thing about clickbait?
There's nothing good about it at all. It's horrifying.
Why do you think it's horrifying?
Because there's nothing about me taking a quiz saying which Game of Thrones character I am that suggests that I'm in the market for a brand new Lexus.
But why do you do it? That's the question. Why do you do it?
Boredom. I think it's also the internet tries to sell itself as, oh, it's connective, you're connecting with people, and you're not. The other day I saw a thing about the FA Cup final on the BBC website, and at the bottom it said, get involved. I'm like, what, in the FA Cup final?
So can somebody describe clickbait for anybody who doesn't know what it is?
The worst ones are the 23 things you never knew about ducks. Number 12 will astonish you. They call them listicles, which is a portmanteau of list and testicles, because all complete bollocks.
So here's the weird thing. The research suggests that the pleasure we get from cute and funny or shocking videos, the ones that do the rounds on the internet, we get the pleasure from anticipating them and not from actually seeing them. So it releases dopamine when we think we're going to see something. So dopamine, as a neuroscientist put it this way, dopamine is not about pleasure, it's about the anticipation of pleasure. It's about the pursuit of happiness rather than happiness itself.
That's quite interesting, because if you click on one of those things, like sometimes it will say, 40 actresses, you won't believe what they look like now.
Yes. Yeah.
Number 37 is amazing.
But you have to go through all of them.
By the time you get to about 19, the dopamine's worn off. You get to 37.
And people seldom get what's promised, but we carry on, and it's called intermittent reinforcement, and we keep getting more dopamine. It's more addictive as you keep going through. We're slaves to curiosity.
So I find this profoundly depressing.
I think so too.
All we're ever doing is anticipating stuff, and the only thing that's really going to deliver is Tinder, and the actual relationship is going to be terrible. And we sort of know that's true, don't we?
But I don't think it's a new thing. I mean, to travel hopefully is better than to arrive is an old idea. There's also a thing called the spoiler paradox, which has a similar effect. People enjoy a story more when they know how it's going to turn out. And we think maybe the story is easier for the brain to process without the distraction of wondering how it's going to end. So, spoiler alert, Alan's going to come last today. Already, the audience having a much better time. What's the worst thing about Christmas lights?
Oh, they get terribly tangled up, don't they?
The worst thing that I've encountered about Christmas lights is they get in the way of the remote control.
They do interfere with your Wi-Fi.
Yes.
Do they? Yeah, the microwaves which come from your Wi-Fi router are quite weak and they can get blocked by stronger signals, and indeed the Christmas lights would be a stronger signal.
The man across the road from me changes my channel on my television.
You must ask him not to sit next to you.
No. He sits across the road and he changes my channel.
Watching that shape. Highland Games for you.
How small is this road that you can see each other so easily?
You live in a little model village.
I know. Susan Carman from Toy Town.
Stop turning me telly over, you bastard!
forgot to open the little curtains.
That's not the first thing on the list. Its environmental cost is the real thing. It's incredible. So the US Energy Department, they did a study in 2008, and over the whole of the United States, a staggering 6.63 billion kilowatt hours of electricity use. So that is twice as much electricity as Cambodia uses in a year. Just for the Christmas lights.
Very dark there, though, isn't it?
Okay. Well, it's also more than the annual use in lots of countries. Ethiopia, El Salvador, Tanzania...
I don't like it, really.
Don't like
People
what?
go a bit overboard, don't they?
Oh, when they do the whole house,
the
it makes
whole
me
house.
crazy.
What I don't mind is a moving reindeer.
Yeah.
Never mind that. So you work on that impression all year, and then you can bring it out at Christmas.
What's it? Moving reindeer! Every year.
Christmas lights also responsible for a great many injuries. So people...
Tripping up,
oh,
burning.
my goodness, yeah.
I mean, he's gone the wrong side up a ladder.
Only got himself to blame. This has nothing to do with the light. He's looked at the manual and just got it the wrong way around. This ladder's shit!
I like that ladder impersonation. That could double as a reindeer doing backstroke. That's very good.
I can't wait till next year on BBC Two, Alan Davis's Christmas impersonation.
So lots of people injured putting up Christmas lights. The average victim is a 55-year-old man.
Well...
Is he the one that lives across from Susan?
Yeah. Name a nonsense museum.
The Leicester Gas Museum.
Is there a gas museum?
Yes.
I want to go.
I went there, it was amazing. And the guy who runs it is a James Bond lookalike. But he asked us to guess who he was a lookalike of, and we didn't get it, so I'm not sure how successful
that's not so good.
Does he look like of a specific James Bond?
He looks like the Scottish guy.
Oh, is it unlucky to mention it?
I think... Oh, you know, you're not allowed to say
The Scottish Bond.
Scottish James Bond.
And because we were so enthusiastic, he gave us some British gas tracksuits from 1988.
Is he supposed to give away the exhibits? That doesn't seem...
My favourite, there's a pencil museum in Cumbria. Which is brilliant.
In Keswick.
It's Keswick. It's got the world's biggest pencil.
Yeah.
Which is massive.
Yeah.
You go and they show you how they make pencils. They show you how pencils are invented. You can have a pencil with your name on it. Like the best museum in the world. Until I went to McLean in Texas, where they have the Barbed Wire Museum.
How do you get in?
Barbed wire is the thing that changed the entire face of America. Because that thing that we think about, the Wild West, was only about a 20-year period of history. Because barbed wire came in, it was impossible to drive cattle across the country. So it's hugely important.
Yeah.
But it is an extraordinary museum.
Yeah, it's great. That piece of barbed wire there, that's over 200-year-old.
Anyway, there is actually a nonsense museum. The Nonseum in Herrenbaumgarten in Austria. It was founded in 1994, and it houses a collection of absurdist items. So it has things like the selfie rifle.
One previous.
Yeah. This crockery set, I think, is a very useful thing. This is divorce crockery. And then these are keyhole-shaped spectacles for voyeurs. And the next one is something I absolutely would like to have. This is a biological lawnmower.
That's not a real shape.
But there's also some very good stuff. The US Patent Office is a tremendous place to look for nonsensical items. For example, the Behringer vacuum cleaner. This is a depressing thing. It's from before the time of the electric vacuum cleaner. Basically, the man's had a busy day, and he comes home, and he sits in his rocking chair, reads the paper, smokes a pipe, and he rocks, and the action of him rocking enables the woman, quite rightly, to do the hoovering. The worst example of these is the centrifugal birthing machine, OK? So this was invented in the 1960s by George and Charlotte Blonsky, who I can only imagine did not actually have children. So women were strapped to it and rotated at a speed dictated by the doctor. And when it was delivered, the baby landed in a net.
That would be awesome. What a way to come out.
Something that would be like that would be a birthing trebuchet.
Yeah.
So you're labouring away, and then they strap you to a catapult, but then bang!
Wait, it's
area.
it's like getting ketchup at the bottom of the thing.
Just the force of the boom, the
Yeah.
whoa!
You've forgotten the chord, Phil.
That
baby's coming back.
A nobleman who invented a hot drink you might enjoy with a hobnob.
Coffee and then.
That's a drink and a snack, I think you're Aaron Horlicks. Hobnobs, of course, are an imposter, and no nobleman would have had a hobnob.
No, that is true.
They have the air of a classic.
They do, and yet it's a
But
PR
actually, they're a
invention.
kind of 70s hallucination.
OK, so this hot drink is also a kind of PR invention, which we call by the name of a lord, but it isn't really.
Earl Grey.
Earl Grey.
It is Earl Grey. It is a black tea which has been flavoured with bergamot oil, and it is named after Earl Grey. Almost certainly nothing to do with it, even though I think it continues to say so on the packaging.
What about Lady Grey? I like Lady Grey.
Yeah, that's lovely, that one.
Well, you and me both, but...
It's not a euphemism, it's an actual tea.
Oh, I see. Sorry, yes.
I'm not into Earl Grey.
Why is that?
It's like someone's melted some potpourri and like in a cup. The fact it smells exactly like it tastes is weird.
Yeah. You do know you're drunk at a party if you're eating the potpourri, don't you? You just think,
Potpourri. He started this.
Potpourri?
Potpourri,
Oh.
so it said, doesn't it?
Oh,
Jazz?
there's another
I'm going to say
pronunciation of it.
potpourri.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Potpourri.
Yeah,
I don't know.
but-
We don't have it in our house.
Have you eaten it?
We just have a magic tree.
It's all over your shirt, Jazz. It's all over your shirt.
But do you know why it's been named after Earl Grey?
I have no idea.
No, and indeed that is correct.
He insisted.
No, he was probably dead 40 years when somebody first came up with it.
Oh, like Jesus.
If I said that, I'd have been in so much... You probably will be there.
Anybody know what Earl Grey is famous for?
When was he alive?
Well, I can tell you when he was in government, which is from 1830 to 1834.
Was it a law? Was it a movement?
It is a law.
It's a law.
It is a law,
Okay,
yeah.
so
Okay.
1832, there was an important law. What was that one? What was that one, Jeremy?
In 1830...
Corn
that what
laws,
it's called?
repealing the corn
It's
laws.
the Great Reform Act.
Police, that's it.
It's the Great Reform Act. Yes?
The Great Reform Act of 18...
Yes, so reforming government extended the right to vote and got rid of the rotten boroughs when there were maybe only 9 voters returning a member of Parliament, so it helped to re-establish the authority of Parliament, but it was also that he led the most nepotistic government in British history, OK? It was described as the most aristocratic administration that has ever been formed. All but one of his 13 cabinet members were either peers or heirs to a peerage, and in the lower ranks, large numbers of his own family.
Did they call it 50 Shades of Grey?
They should have done. They would have been ahead of the game.
And pretty sexy.
Now, who knows how to make a prat? What have you done, darling? What knot have you done?
know. It's what I used to do at school.
Did you ever have that thing called peanutting at school?
Oh, when people pull it
They
tight.
pull it really tight and then you can't get it
Yes,
done.
that happened a lot.
OK, do you know the answer to stop that happening?
Oh, I wish you'd been around in 1976.
If you put a 2p coin inside the knot, then it's impossible to peanut somebody.
I should tell my
Pass
boys.
pass it on. So, the prat, basically you have to have it back to front, like this, in order to tie it. I haven't worn a tie since I gave up the pipe. Like this. And this is a self-releasing version of the prat. It's called a nicky knot. And the reason it's self-releasing is that when you pull it out like that, you can just let it go, and it won't end up in a knot. Thank you very much. Anybody know how long we've been wearing ties for? How long they've been around?
About 5 minutes now.
We've had ties since the 30 Years' War, which was 1618, and it was the Croatians who first brought the notion of wearing something. They wore a little small knotted...
Am I a time traveller? Spooky. Oh, my God, they found out my secret. Fire up the machine, we must travel back.
It's where we get cravat from. It's from the Croatians. And then it took off and the Parisians loved it. King Louis XIV was so obsessed with his cravats, he had a cravatier who used to lay out cravats for him to choose. Really. Yeah.
God, I've put on a bit of weight, haven't I?
being characters from history. While we're doing knots, now, I've been practicing this, and I can do it about 1 in 3. So you've all got an opportunity to give this a go. There we go. That was pretty cool! OK, so it is just a length of chain, and then you place the ring up in like this. Now, if you hold it with your thumb and then hold it with one of your fingers, and what you need to do is just let the finger go and not the thumb. Just try and let the... Yeah, Ross has got it!
Just a few more goes.
All right, you just turn it and put the chain... OK. Don't make me get up and show you. So make your hand wide like this, OK, and then hook your thumb like this, but don't hook the chain. Just hold that like that and only let your finger go. Teaching assistant. Where can you get one of those this time of day? Oh! Who's the loneliest number?
3, 4, 5.
Yes.
1.
No. It's the obvious one, but it's not that one.
So maybe 2 is the loneliest number because it's next to the one that gets talked about the most.
And do you know what? I would make that entirely a correct answer if it wasn't so horribly wrong. No.
3 is the magic number.
3 is the magic number. No, well, I don't know, I've never tried, but so they say.
I was going to say 2 as well, but because I just thought it depends on what your marriage is like.
Yeah.
Is it 13? Because it's quite unlucky, so the other numbers don't want to go near it.
OK, so it is an unpopular number.
0.
No, it's quite a high number. So there's a mathematician called...
100.
Yeah, you're heading in the right direction.
14.
200.
No, we're not going to play this high or lower.
102, 103, 110.
Yes!
110?
It's 110!
110.
Alan gets the point. So there's a mathematician called Alex Bellos, and he wanted to find the world's favourite number. So he asked a lot of people, and 30,023 people responded, and the lowest whole number that nobody chose was 110. It was everybody's least favourite number. So QI has adopted it as our favourite number.
Very, very lukewarm round of applause. You prefer number 7, don't you?
Well, why might you prefer number 7? That's a really interesting thing.
Is it the lucky number?
It's the world's favourite number.
Oh.
That is the one that Alex Bellos discovered most people prefer. And in fact, there was a national lottery draw which rather bore this out. The 23rd of March 2016, 5 of the 6 numbers were multiples of 7, OK? So there was 7, 14, 21, 35 and 42, and the other one was 41. And so many people chose them, you got more money for matching 4 numbers than you did for matching 5. So 4 numbers, you got £51, and 5 right, you got £15. Sold seashells on the seashore.
Is it somebody who's got no idea about the laws of sort of supply and demand?
Interestingly, there were plenty of seashells and lots of people who wanted to buy them. So who...
The answer is she, isn't it?
Well, it is in the rhyme. Can you do the rhyme? Do you know the rhyme?
She's... No, I can't, because I've got a lisp.
It's a fantastically mean thing to do to you.
Make him do it, Sandy.
Yeah,
Make him do it.
She sells seashells on the seashore. And then she goes home again. Don't know the second bit.
The shells she sells are seashells, I'm sure, for if she sells seashells on the seashore, then I'm sure she sells seashore shells, is the full rhyme. Did anybody... Thank you very much. Thank you, yes.
That is the first time I've heard a typical British reaction to a tongue twister. And it is... That's what we think of articulate people. I didn't know we had that in our makeup.
So she, but who was she? The woman who sold seashells?
Was she a Cockney woman who some white Victorian man made up a nice rhyme about, but actually she was probably a prostitute who died of syphilis?
That
turned Dickens.
I wonder why they didn't include that bit in the rhyme.
And then she got
What a dark place your head is.
Yeah.
It was an actual woman. She worked Lyme Regis. Have you had that seizure? Do you want me to get somebody? Or...
No, it's the Dorset lady. Bless you. The Dorset. We're a caring, sharing show. It was the Dorset lady.
Killer! Look at the weapon.
There she is.
Found the first dinosaur in the UK, didn't she? The first whole.
She was the inspiration for the tongue twister. She's a Victorian fossil hunter called Mary Anning.
Oh,
Mary
she's
Anning.
a fossil hunter. She's all over the Natural History Museum.
Yeah, all over the Natural History Museum, and she's an incredible woman. She was very brave because actually it's very dangerous. That is a picture of her with her dog Trey.
She's about to kill it and put it in that bag.
Well, I can't tell if the dog's already...
They're a mega fossil. Finish your painting, please, before the dog wakes up.
I don't know if the picture shows the dog already dead. It died in the landslide, and she was very fond of it.
A landslide caused by.
Well, it is. I don't know if you.
She found huge fossils.
She is really an extraordinary woman, and her findings absolutely made important changes in scientific thinking because up until the 1820s, lots of people didn't believe extinctions could happen because it would imply that God's creations were less than perfect. But she, in fact, discovered the very first ichthyosaur skeleton, correctly identified, the first two plesiosaur skeletons, and the first pterosaur skeleton outside Germany. She also found, I'm going to give you some examples, she found these, and she's the very first person who worked out what they are. So I'm going to pass you one there for you to share. Do you know what that is?
Oh,
£9.50 in a Cornwall gift shop.
Is this dinosaur shit?
It is. It is absolutely that. People first thought...
OK, now I feel weird.
I feel a bit sorry for her that, you know, she's done all these amazing things, and then when they decide to come up with a rhyme about her, they made up one about how she used to knock out seashells.
Well, here's the thing, that's how she made a living, because she was very poor. Her father was a cabinet maker. He died when she was 11, and so she had to make a living. And actually, people selling fossils has been a big thing on the Lyme Regis
She
coast.
did start finding them when she was 12 or 13, didn't she?
Yeah, she could sell them to tourists. It was one of the very first. So your £9.50 for a coprolite is probably about right. She really sort of pains me slightly, because she sold things to men who then wrote scientific articles about them, and she didn't get the credit. She wasn't allowed to join, for example, the Geological Society of London. They didn't admit women until 1904. She didn't get full credit until 163 years after her death. The Royal Society included Anning in a list of the 10 British women who have most influenced the history of science.
But was she not allowed to join the society because she was a woman or because she killed that dog?
I got this nonsensical question, what you will. Who blows their nose for something to eat?
My children.
I suppose there might be some good bacteria in your mucus.
That's what I was told about children doing. That does actually help their immune system to consume their bogies.
Yeah.
Was that one of your children that told you that? I think that
it's really good for me, actually.
Yeah, there's a conflict of interest there.
Is it an anteater?
Is it an anteater?
Well, they suck up ants through their noses, don't they?
Yes, but we are actually looking for something that blows its nose.
Blows its nose?
Yes.
Bird, mammal.
Bird mammal. Are you trying to psych me out, so I tell you?
Trying.
OK, it's a worm! You did it!
Worms haven't got noses, they've got spiracles.
Oh, well, here's the extraordinary thing. Have a look at this. Prepare yourselves for this bit of footage. This is the or a ribbon worm, and it literally blows its nose. So it explosively ejects its proboscis from its body in search of food. They're also known as proboscis worms.
Is that snot, then?
No, it's its nose. And when they detect food or prey, the muscle contractions of the body wall forces the proboscis, that literally its nose, out of the body, and it turns it inside out like a rubber glove.
Right.
OK? And the one that's shown here is a gorgon worm, and it's got these branching spaghetti-like tentacles on its proboscis, which then envelops the prey with a sticky toxin and draws it back into the body.
Are you telling me that it ate that bloke?
Let's have a look. Let's have one.
No, let's not!
It It's amazing, isn't it?
It's like those people on YouTube who watch people squeezing spots and stuff like that. I mean, what is wrong with people?
What is wrong with your YouTube search history?
What is that? What is that?
Well, OK, here's the thing that'll upset you.
This will upset me.
They can regenerate lost body parts, so any Nemetean able to do that, but there is one species, and this is it, the Ramphagorius sanguinus, and it is exceptional. Any body part that is severed, apart from maybe the tip of the tail where there aren't any nerves, can regrow into a new worm. So you could take a worm that is only 15 centimetres long, and it is claimed that more than 200,000 worms could result from that one tiny little worm. That's extraordinary, isn't it? Now, let's look at some naked apes. What did the Neanderthal take with him when he went clubbing?
Are you meaning a club to club things with? Over the years, I thought I'd get better at this.
We've all been hoping, Alan.
Given that Alan got a klaxon for saying clubs, I'm guessing he didn't use clubs.
Very good.
Yes.
No, he or she did not
That's
use...
how to do it.
They lived above the tree line. They lived in a desert. There weren't any trees. Otherwise, you'd use a branch.
No, but they had spears and arrows, which had presumably got wooden shafts.
They couldn't get near enough to club anything. It was too dangerous.
For all we know, they didn't have clubs. I mean, the main thing about it is that we've never, ever seen anything shaped remotely like a club. No artefact anywhere.
I base all my knowledge of Neanderthal men from the wacky races. I base that.
The Flintstones, obviously, which is incredibly accurate. All those people living with the dinosaurs.
Running in the cars.
Yeah, exactly.
To be fair, we've got wacky racists, we've got Flintstones, and you've got Captain Caveman, so that's 3 separate bits of evidence that suggest they did have clubs. Unless they're all making it up.
Yeah.
So they didn't take clubs, but they took cameras?
Yes. That's one of the earliest photographs.
That's incredible. They couldn't say cheese, then, because they didn't have cheese.
Cheese?
For the photograph.
What they said. Bison's quite good. Bison.
To be fair, you are just saying bison and then smiling, aren't you? Bison.
Yeah.
You could say anything, couldn't you? Stick a rock.
But we've never, ever... There's never been a painting, there's never been an artefact. I mean, to be fair, most wooden artefacts will rot. So you get paintings of spears and you get spear heads that you find, but you don't actually get the wooden...
But you don't get the wooden pole, right? So they might have had clubs that have rotted away. I understand that you don't want to go too near an animal with a club, but if you're fighting neighbouring tribes...
Probably you would just pick up a stick.
But a stick is a club.
Well, it's not shaped like a club, that's the point.
When is a club a stick?
Yeah.
When you cover it in chocolate.
Women, tattooed ladies. Nora Hildebrand, she was America's very first professional tattooed lady. This is a wonderful drawing by my friend Sandy Nightingale of Nora Hildebrand. Doesn't she look fab? She had 365 designs tattooed on her. She claimed that she had been captured by a sitting bull and his tribe and tied to a tree and tattooed every day for a year. But, in fact, her dad did it.
I think she...
her father Martin.
It's slightly, it's a
I think
weirder
she may
story.
have been trying to detract from men staring at her nose.
She was like his showcase, you know, as it were, his window display to say, these are the ones that I can do.
Thank God he didn't own a garage, or he'd have just glued car parts to her.
Yes.
She didn't look like a transformer.
That's a weird thing, though. How creepy is that? You walk into a tattooist and say, well, I'm thinking about getting a tattoo, and he goes, well, just look at my daughter for a while. Pick anything you want.
Yeah.
OK.
When you have a tattoo lasered off, what happens to it? Do you know where it goes?
To heaven.
They can't recycle them, can they? What do you mean?
They don't scrape them off and give them to somebody else. No, so come on, what happens to them? You laser off a tattoo, what?
It goes into your body.
Yes, exactly right. So the beams of light heat the ink and it breaks it down into tiny little pieces. It's absorbed into the blood and it is excreted. So it comes out in your poo. So
you see it in your poo and you go, that's what I really wanted.
Yes. So if you love somebody once...
A tattoo poo.
Yeah, you can poo them away.
If it came out in the way, you'd stand there going, I'm an octopus.
I now understand why boys make such a mess in the toilet, because they're not holding on. Speaking of caves, anybody been to Nottingham?
I've been to Nottingham, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, whoa, so have I, mate. Come on.
I actually went to university really near Nottingham,
Did
so
you?
let's all
This is a
chill out,
small
actually.
world, Alan.
I've been there.
No way. Alan's been as well, Sandy.
I made my professional debut at Nottingham Playhouse.
Did you?
I did. But anyway, the city centre was once known as Tiguacubuac, which means the place of caves. So from as early as the 11th century, people lived in caves in Nottingham. And under the Nottingham Enclosure Act of 1845, it is still illegal to rent out a cave to anybody in Nottingham. They were trying to stop unscrupulous landlords renting them out to the poor. I'd quite like to live in a cave, though. Don't you think it would be fine?
Yeah, I'd live in a cave.
No.
No? Oh. What's your reservation?
Wi-Fi.
OK.
If you had a good hub.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that picture at the right, at the back, is that a downstairs toilet?
It does look awfully like some kind of font, doesn't it?
Or like a sundial, but no light.
It's the world's worst sundial.
The classic underground sundial. Where do we put the sundial? In the basement.
Yeah. Do you know what the original name for Nottingham is?
Is it Ingham?
It's got Nottingham in it.
No, but it's not just Ingham, and then they said changed to Nottingham.
No.
Nottinghampton.
Nottingham is the shortened version of its original name.
It's Nottingham.
Exactly right. It's Nottingham.
It's Nottingham.
It was ruled by a Saxon chief named Snot. And it was literally the homestead of Snot's people. It was Snottingham. And then, I don't know why they dropped the S, because I think it's perfectly charming.
Well, I think they should put it back.
When the Europeans first arrived in New York, what did they call it? Show.
New Amsterdam.
But it's an Elvis Costello song. It must be right.
Yeah, I think
either the
Yeah.
Spanish or the French were there first, so it was
Okay.
either New Madrid or New Paris or Nouvelle Cuisine or something like that.
It was the French, and it was New Angoulême. It was Giovanni de Verrazzano who first named it. A Florentine was working for the French crown, and he absolutely wanted to favour the French king, Francis I, who was originally Francis of Angoulême, is where he came from.
He must have been very pleased when he got there that he could buy a stick of rock to take out.
It's got New Angoulême all the way through.
The weird thing about him, Verrazzano, there's loads of things in New York named after him, and every single sign has his name misspelled. It's supposed to be double Z, and nobody quite knows whether they didn't have enough Zs in the sign-making department.
Well, they've misspelt Parkway and Bridge as well, so they're obviously not very good.
OK, so here's a fact about New York, which is quite interesting. Gotham. I think I know the history of Gotham, because it's a small village outside Nottingham, where local idiots would live. And someone wrote this book called The Merry Men of Gotham. So then about 100 years later, there's a writer in New York, and he compares New York. He said, they're all mad here. It's like Gotham City here.
Ah, OK.
They're all idiots.
I didn't know that. Do you know why it's called Manhattan?
Is that a local Amerindian name?
Yeah, it's a native Lenape Americans. It's actually quite a nice story. So, 1609, Henry Hudson met a group of native Lenape Americans, and they were fishing, and he offered them alcohol for the very first time. And there was a warrior who swallowed the whole lot to test it and passed out, and everybody thought this was marvellous, and he then brought more alcohol, and they ended up getting fantastically drunk together. And the native Lenape word, Manhaktanenk, means the place we all got drunk.
I think the story is that also it was one of those places that was sold for a few beads. And so a few beads were handed over and the Indians took those. But they had the last laugh because they weren't even from that local area.
They weren't from that area.
They didn't even own the place in the first
They didn't own
place.
it at all. They just took the beads and said, thanks, OK, good luck with that. Here is something that was fantastically new in New York in 1909 at Coney Island, which is a glorious place to hang out. They ought to bring this back because it's a really fantastic thing. This is one stretch of track running multiple trains, and if the two meet while travelling in opposite directions, so the passengers are in the lower part, you can just see it goes up over the top. I think you can just see the arms of some of the passengers, and then it carries on.
I'm sorry, but that's like a very well-engineered train crash.
Yeah. I should have that on the Northern Line. That would be fantastic.
Married in the Emperor's new clothes.
Ooh.
That is a fabulous wedding.
The Emperor.
I want it to be that.
He doesn't do very much in the story, does he? Just parades around.
But he's a bit of an idiot, isn't he?
I think that's the point of the story.
What I like about that story is that two swindlers come. And this idea that there were swindlers who'd go from town to town, swindling people, and that sort of died out, really, hasn't
But
it?
social media has killed the swindling industry.
You've never
get many emails.
Yeah.
You can trust everybody now.
There was a period of time when people got married naked in New England, so 1700s. Why might they do that?
Was it to do with witches?
Prove they were women.
It's not to do with witches, and it's not to prove that you were a woman.
Do you know there's still a thing with popes?
The chair.
Where they have to carry the chair over the cardinals to check, because they had a female pope, which is obviously a disaster. So they carry him over the top so they can check out his junk.
Sadly, it's a myth, unfortunately.
It's a myth.
It's
You know
wanted to
what?
be.
This is my issue with QI.
Yeah.
You say it's a myth, but I've heard it. in a pub. I'm pretty sure that's the case.
So look, the bridegroom and the bride are both
just
naked.
the bride.
Is it something to do with the Bible?
It isn't to do with the Bible, it's to do with debt. They were known as smock marriages, sometimes just in their underwear. And if the bride clearly has no assets, if she's got nothing, then the groom is not liable for her debts, or more importantly, if she's a widow, for her husband's debts.
Wow.
They didn't have to be visible, they just had to be naked. So there's a wonderful wedding that's talked about. February 1789, a man called Major Moses Joy, and he married a widow called Hannah Ward, and she was stark as inside a closet, and basically she reached her arm out through a hole in the door to clasp his hand, and then they got married, and then he'd left some clothes very nicely for her in the cupboard, and then she came out fully dressed.
That's a bit like, you know, if a tree falls in a forest. If you're naked and nobody can see
Nobody
you...
can see, it doesn't really count, does it?
You don't need to be naked, do you?
Yes, I'm sure Lady Gaga would argue she was wearing a wardrobe. Just a hell of a dress.
Is her head stick out the top of the wardrobe?
It was just her arm out, that was it.
So it's a naked
that was
arm?
it, just the arm. Might have been her arm, in fact.
Could have been anyone's arm.
Was yours a nightmare, Joe, your wedding?
Yeah.
Oh.
I couldn't fit in the wardrobe. I had to go in a marquee instead. No, it was lovely.
It's stressful, though, isn't it? I was having a look at the planning nightmare that is a wedding. If you have 17 guests and 2 tables of 10, that has 131,702 possible seating arrangements. A wedding with 100 guests and 10 tables has 65 trillion possibilities as to where you ought to seat people.
Crikey. Well, I had a very little wedding, so I'd said to all my friends, like, don't tell anyone or talk about it. And one of my friends stayed at a local hotel and called a cab to pick her up to take her to our wedding. And she got in the cab and he went, Where do you want to go? She went, I'm not telling you.
That's fabulous. They have a great tradition in Sweden. Here's a randy scandy fact. If the bride leaves the reception to go to the bathroom, then all the women in the room kiss the groom. And if the groom leaves, all the men may kiss the bride.
And that is how chlamydia started.
It's a fine name for a child.
Yeah.
Name a cold-blooded creature.
Lizard.
So there are some.
Yes,
yes, but there are also...
that's why they like the sun to warm up.
There are
We've
also...
had it on here before. I learnt that on here.
Yes.
He's spent 10 years doing this show for pieces of information like that.
But I've arrived with new information.
Oh, no.
Simon Cowell.
There are, in fact, warm-blooded lizards and, indeed, warm-blooded fish. Almost all reptiles. You're absolutely right. That's a horrible picture.
That's not a good one, no.
That is a jackaroo caiman eating a catfish.
Or the catfish eating a caiman's tongue.
Yeah. Almost all reptiles and fish are cold-blooded, so they depend on their surroundings to heat them up. However, in 2015, we have just new news. Scientists have discovered warm-blooded lizards and fish. Oh, I know. And so that lizard there on the left can heat itself up to 10 degrees warmer than its environment, and nobody knows why.
And they both live together?
No, they don't. Those are... Well, they look surprised, and the fish looks very surprised. It's called an opa fish. It's the only completely warm-blooded fish.
How is it the only one? Is it just really awkward? I'm sorry, how do you become the only fish that's warm-blooded out of a whole... Or did it just have an overburning mummy made it a hot water bottle and it just ate it and had an idea?
It's a really good question, because the fact is we don't know how warm-bloodedness evolved.
It's a hot water bottle.
And then
it looks like a hot
decided
water bottle shape.
Well, was that more prevalent post the wipeout of the dinosaurs? Isn't there a theory that they died because of the change in temperature?
Well, the thing is, dinosaurs were neither warm-blooded nor cold-blooded, but they were somewhere in between.
They were just right, weren't they?
Yeah, they were just right.
They had lovely Goldilocks blood.
Because there are disadvantages to being warm-blooded, OK? Because one of the things is you have to keep eating to get fuel to maintain the constant body temperature. So if, for example, a lion was as big as a Tyrannosaurus rex, it probably wouldn't be able to eat enough to survive.
But isn't there the theory on the dinosaurs where they died out because over a certain temperature all the eggs hatched as male, and below a certain temperature they all hatched as female, and then the temperature went down and they all hatched as female, and then there were no one to mate with?
Well, there are as many theories about how the dinosaurs
But that's the
were
correct
made.
one.
The one
that I can
That's
vaguely
one.
remember, I'm 90% sure is 100% correct.
There's someone who's never watched King Kong. Massive gorilla, mate. Twatted all of them.
Well, that's spoiled the end of that film. Now, nonsense to neuroscience. What's the worst noise in the world?
You know.
Yes.
I believe I've mentioned it before tonight. That would be Coldplay B-sides.
Not everyone applauding.
No,
Quite a lot of people going, I like Coldplay.
So we have some props where you can make some noises.
Oh, hello.
Let's have a look. So let's start with Nish and Alan. That's very irritating, isn't it?
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, stop it.
Yep. Oh. Do you remember what that is, Nish?
This is a vuvuzela.
It is a vuvuzela, yes,
which
absolutely.
ruined the 2010 World Cup.
It's a
from memory.
hideous noise, isn't it?
Well, luckily I have grade 7 in vuvuzela, so we're fine.
Oh, Alan. Fingers on it. That is awful.
We've got a band going, don't stop!
I've got a mirror and this cube of white stuff.
It's the most annoying sound in the world.
Me on drugs. I think this is polystyrene
Yes.
and.
So the Journal of Neuroscience did the top 10 most annoying sounds. Apparently the most annoying is a knife on a bottle, but we haven't been able to work out why that is. This one we can do. This is number 2. A fork.
Oh, God.
I got the power. That's very unpleasant, isn't it?
I've got a. This is the older.
That's the.
What is worse than this is when it just goes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
And then 4 minutes later goes.
Yeah. And you can't work out which one it is. It's somewhere in the house.
The thing I love about, like, any sort of smoke alarm is that we've advanced so far technologically, and yet we still haven't got beyond the only way to solve a smoke alarm is to have a tea towel and just do this underneath it.
I was in a hotel once. I was a bit pissed. And I fell asleep on the bed in my clothes. And then I was woken up by this terrible noise in the room. I thought, what is that? It's kind of going like this. And there was this thing on the ceiling, and I started hitting it with my shoe. as hard as I could. And then it fell off the ceiling, and it was dangling by a wire. And then I rang reception and go, there's a thing in my room making a terrible noise. And they said, that's the fire alarm, sir. Will you please evacuate? And I said, oh, just so you know, when it went off, it kind of fell from the ceiling. And then I went out on the street and I was the only person in clothes.
Did the royal families of Europe wear under their uniforms during the 19th century?
Potpourri.
They were naked.
No.
They weren't nude.
They had rather fine underwear. Whalebones.
Armour. What was the question? I've forgotten this one as well.
What did royal families of Europe wear under their uniforms during the 19th century?
Silk undies?
It's closer to the skin even than your underwear.
Lice. Just had loads of lice moving around.
But that's even a thought in your head is a worry. No. Decorative?
Tattoos?
Tattoos is exactly right. There was a craze for tattoos. According to the Hamsworth Monthly Pictorial Magazine, the Grand Duke Alexis of Russia was most elaborately tattooed, and there were lots of them. Prince and Princess Valdemar of Denmark, Queen Olga of Greece, King Oscar of Sweden, the Grand Duke Constantine, and in fact, also in the UK, King Edward VII and his son George V. Edward VII had 5 crosses, which he had done on a visit to Jerusalem when he was the Prince of Wales, when he was 20. And then George, his son, had the same design done by the same artist 20 years later. And my favourite story features a random Scandinavian, a randy Scandi of sorts. Napoleon's Marshal Jean-Baptiste Jules Bernadotte, he was a revolutionary firebrand, and he rose to become King of Sweden and Norway. And it turned against Napoleon, and he reigned for 26 years after Bonaparte's deposition. And while he was king, he never allowed doctors to see his naked torso. and there is a reason that became apparent after death when he was found to have a tattoo from his revolutionary days that said "Death to Kings." And his heirs are the royal family of Sweden to this day.
Wow. I mean, a lot of people do regret tattoos, don't they? Like,
have you got any tattoos?
I haven't, no. I've never really liked my body so much that I thought, oh, I'll decorate that. But I did see a guy in our local pub once that had a tattoo here that said, like, Sarah, and then it was crossed out, and then underneath it said Chloe.
Oh, I remember him. These regrets.
Damn you, Chloe.
Chloe can have him. Some people are very passionate vegans and they get a tattoo about their veganism, and tattoos are made from burned animal bones. So themselves not vegan.
So you can go in and say, I'd like a vegan tattoo, please.
Yeah, I'll go to like a special
No,
one.
please tell me there aren't vegan tattoo places. There are, really?
Yes.
That's very funny. There's 1,200 words in the Sunday Times next week, right there.
All life is material, Jeremy.
It is, basically.
Anyway, lots of kings have had tattoos, but we can't show you any for regal reasons.
All right, that's enough.
Thank you. Here's something nice. Cake. So you've each got a cake and a knife, and here is the challenge, OK? I want you to cut 2 pieces of exactly equal size. You can use 3 cuts to do it, but in such a way that the cake is still moist for you to have some more tomorrow. What would be the best way of cutting it?
Could the cake stay moist in my tummy? Is that you just half it?
Yes, you could just halve it. No. So the idea is that there's cake for tomorrow.
Right.
So we're going to start with Alan and Colin first. What is your...
Well, my theory...
Yes?
...is that we cut through the middle.
OK.
It's going to be difficult, but we're going to do it.
Right.
And then we take the top off.
OK.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we eat the bottom bit.
You're going to eat the whole of the bottom bit, is that... Yeah. But that's quite a large piece of cake, isn't it?
Yeah. We're 2 men in our 30s. We love cake. I'll take the top off.
Yeah.
Carl's going to remove the bottom of the cake.
Right.
And then put the top back down again. That's moist for tomorrow.
Right.
And then we cut this paste that there.
Yeah.
We cut this completely in half,
Right.
like that. 2 equal pieces.
Wow, that's very good. Do you think anybody who likes the filling is going to be mildly disappointed?
That's right.
So let's go over to...
I think I've got an idea.
No, do it with the cake, yeah.
I'm just going to draw it
Oh,
first.
fine, OK.
Is that OK?
Yes, darling, you do what you like.
Yeah. What if we cut it, like, in a way that we could back together? Yeah.
We cut like a bit out of it and then a bit out of it and then just...
Yeah, just... That'd be better, wouldn't it? Than cutting...
Do you want to do it?
I mean, that was a shambles, what they did.
Smushing doesn't sound good.
But I reckon we have to do this first.
Do you think?
Yeah, go on. It's good.
OK, go for it, Sarah.
OK, so... Oh, it's tough.
Yeah, so no, delicious is what you're looking for.
And then...
You've just drawn Pac-Man. That doesn't make any sense.
So take out your pieces.
These are our pieces. No, were you calling us a shambles? Is that what you were saying? There you go.
Mathematical way of doing it. There was a man called Francis Galton. He's an extraordinary fellow. He was an explorer. He was the very first person to come up with the idea of a weather map. And he also was slightly obsessed with the idea of sharing a Christmas cake with his wife in an even manner. So what he did was he wrote a rather long treatise on the subject, which he sent to Nature magazine. You're absolutely heading in the right direction. So what you do is you cut right down the middle like this, and then you pull out the entire centre piece.
That was it.
That's only 2 cuts, though.
Oh, wait, I haven't finished.
OK.
So you pull out the whole thing like
Then
this,
you squid
and then you
it
cut that one in
Oh,
half.
Yeah.
So then you
And
have
then
2
Oh,
pieces.
we were nearly there.
Oh, you were very nearly there. You have 2 pieces of cake like that, and then you simply push the cake back together.
Did that
and it will
about-
stay there. So anyway, that's how you can halve your cake. Who is offended by what?
Oh, God, everybody buy everything.
Yes, well, there is that.
Anybody who reads a tweet and doesn't understand it immediately is offended by it.
Yeah. Do you tweet?
I do tweet, yeah,
Right.
I do. But I'm often scared to tweet about anything that's, you know, controversial.
So what do you do? Just the colour beige?
Basically,
just like emojis and like gifs of Japanese girls cutting hairs with crab hands.
Well, that's... the problem with Twitter is that even if you choose something like that you think is really innocent and can't be offensive, it can be. You know, you tweet about porridge and then somebody goes, well, actually, I had a porridge-related incident many years ago and actually I find it highly offensive and I can't believe you'd even not bother to consider the feelings of people that had ready bread-related incidents in their childhood.
Is that then at 3 bears? Is that a sort of... It's not Twitter related, so it's more to do with who?
Who is offended by what?
Yes.
Doctor, offended by Daleks.
Doctor is the right area, but not Doctor Who.
Oh.
It is to do with doctors.
Oh, generally medical practitioners?
It is a large organisation, so if we think of it as an acronym.
World
Health Organisation.
World Health Organisation, absolutely right. They are worried that scientists are naming diseases that offend people, and that indeed we've done this too much in the past. So, for example, Spanish flu would be a good example. It affects people in Spain, possibly, and tourism. People might think if you go to Spain, you'll get Spanish flu. Legionnaire's disease is not a legionnaire in the world not been distressed by the thought.
Oh, I know one. Essex wind. It's awful, isn't it, Phil?
Terrible. It blows right up your Thames corridor.
There's Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease, which I imagine... I don't know who that would offend. People call Creutzfeldt. Jakob Creutzfeldt, I would imagine. Very offensive. Swine flu, apparently. Very offensive to people who work with, I don't know, pigs.
Mrs. Swine.
Mrs. Swine
is upset about it.
China, the idea is you're supposed to minimise unnecessary distress. So, for example, if you call something sudden death syndrome, that's just too frightening.
Hold on a sec. If you're about to die imminently, you can't just say something cuddly so they're not offended. Do you know what I mean? If they're going to die in the next 20 minutes, you can't just go... You just got the chills.
Yeah.
Because you don't want them to be upset.
No, but here's the thing. So doctors have certain acronyms, and I love these. There's SBI, which is something bad inside, and it means the doctor knows there's something wrong, not entirely sure what it is. SVBI, something very bad inside. Again, don't know what it is, but it'll definitely kill you. And there's loads for fat people. There's CBT, which is chronic biscuit toxicity. The other best one for fat people is BW. What? Beached whale. Oh. And my favourite acronym, PRATFO. Patient reassured and told to F off. What did Highland warriors wear at the Battle of Bannockburn?
Kilts.
No, not kilts. No. Here's a random Scandinavian fact.
Oh, OK.
The word kilt comes from the Danish word kilte, meaning tuck. So it's actually a Danish word. Yes, that's rather fine. But medieval Scottish warriors did not wear kilts when they went into battle. What did they wear? Anybody know?
Dungarees.
No, it was a yellow tunic.
A yellow tunic?
A yellow tunic called a lane croich.
I love the bloke on the left's got one of those umbrella hats from the fair.
Yes, they're fine, aren't they?
He's trying to knock it off. That's a stupid hat. It's not even in it!
What was weird? They used saffron to make them yellow, but if they didn't have saffron, they used to use a...
Urine.
Yes. Horse
Very
urine.
keen on the yellow then.
Yeah.
Well, urine was in all the tweeds as well, because they used to use it to fix the colours in the tweeds.
Yeah, but still, you know, can we not make it green from the grass? No, keep on pissing on it.
That horse has got the hots for the painter.
Yeah, he's looking right at him, isn't he?
Now you're getting my best side. Don't paint the twat in the umbrella hat with gold.
It's just weird that we do have a sort of image, don't we, of the kilt being part of the
Very much
attire.
so.
But in fact, it was invented for a totally different reason. It was a...
Invented for weddings. They're always in weddings.
No, it was a...
Sometimes you can have too much material for a kilt. I'll just wrap it around here, don't worry about it.
One day they'll invent scissors.
But it was actually invented in the 1720s by an English Quaker and industrialist, a man called Thomas Rawlinson, and he wanted a safer item of clothing for his employees, his Scottish employees in his iron foundry.
Can I suggest you don't go north of the border and mention that fact?
Well, the word tartan comes from the Middle French. They won't like any of it, really. The word kilt is Danish. None of it's good.
Did he have...
Just
Did he have a shop for tourists in Edinburgh? Was that why he was secretly...
Have you ever been in one of those shops that says, we can find the tartan for any surname?
Oh, yeah.
Apparently not.
No.
Sorry, how do you explain what you're wearing?
Yes, the great Danish Toksvig tartan that I... If you're so hungry you could eat a kilt, don't eat the yellow ones. There you are. What is this island called?
Newfoundland.
Yeah. I'm going to have to shoot you now. No, it isn't the correct pronunciation.
Newfoundland. Hey, enough violence on this show.
Yeah. Newfoundland is the correct pronunciation, and in 1876 a man was killed during a brawl over the correct pronunciation.
Oh, we were lucky, weren't we? We got
Two mill workers, William Aitchison and John Davis, one thought it was Newfoundland and one thought it was Newfoundland. Aitchison threw a punch, Davis drew his gun and killed Aitchison, and he got away, Davis, and he spent 37 years on the run. So there's a really...
Davis?
Yes, Davis.
Any relation?
Yeah.
Possibly.
John Davis, dangerous man.
I had a great uncle who emigrated to Canada.
Did he go to Newfoundland?
Newfoundland.
I think he went to Quebec, actually.
And you inherited your shirt from him.
Anyway, just to finish the story, Davis, who killed Aitchison, he ran away for 37 years, and then on his deathbed, 1912, he's in a hospital in Peoria, in Illinois, and he feels so bad about it that he confesses on his deathbed, and then recovered and had to go on the run again.
I think he said, oh, I did that murder in Newfoundland. No, it's Newfoundland!
But actually, both men were right, because at the time, both pronunciations were perfectly acceptable. It's only fairly recently that people have gone a bit...
And what is it now? Without looking?
Newfoundland.
Newfoundland?
Newfoundland.
OK, and presumably if people are watching this in Newfoundland, they're shouting at their television.
Yes, they're probably...
They're all idiots. I have a constant argument with the pronunciation of Canadian places. My other half is Canadian, and everything seems to be pronounced a little bit faster than it should be. So it's Toronto, not Toronto.
Oh, is it?
Toronto.
Toronto.
Like, as quick as you possibly can, like it's a crime to say it. Toronto.
I love Toronto. There used to be a bar there called the... Sorry, Toronto. There used to be a bar there called the Betty Ford Clinic. What's not to like? There's some fantastic names in Newfoundland. Conception Bay South is the second largest town.
Conception Bay South is, yeah.
It's Conception Bay South, maybe there's north.
That's what I call it. She doesn't like it. She thinks it's too formal. Come on, love, let's have a look at Conception Bay South. I bought you dinner, we saw the movie you wanted. Come on.
We're moving on to Conception Bay North, I suppose.
Well,
that's a special treat for birthdays.
It's possible.
Which way up is she? Hang on.
It's possible that a girl may prefer the Newfoundland town of Dildo or Eastern Tickle, which I like very much.
Do you?
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing.
Not bad for me age. Your first task tonight is to say something completely nonsensical that sounds profound. That's what I would like. Nish, you got any thoughts?
I always find that when people say, I make my own luck, I think that is the biggest load of nonsense.
Yeah.
Because if you make it, that's not luck.
Yeah.
That's not how luck works.
No. Have you got a profound sentiment for me?
Well, it's the centenary this year of the establishment of the Dada art group set up at Cabaret Voltaire in Zurich. And Richard Hulsenbeck was a Dada artist. And he wrote a long poem called Fantastic Prayers, and a couple of sections from it are Biribum, the ox runs down the circulum. Voila, here are the engineers with their assignment. Light mines to throw in a still, crude state. Some showers.
Is it part poem, part weather report?
Basically, because whenever you say anything nonsense like that, I do always think falling slightly at the end of it.
Yeah.
It just becomes shipping forecast to me.
What about you, Alan?
Well, I like things that sound like proverbs. And the important thing about them is that they are always reversible. So I've come up with a couple. You can change your mind, but you can't change your brain.
Oh, that's so crazy.
The alternative is you can't change your brain, but you can change your mind.
Wow, that's the sort of thing a teacher would say to you and nod as if it meant something.
Means bugger all.
Yeah, you just...
Another one is you can't jump without landing. equally, you can't land without jumping.
I just need time to think about that.
This is the sort of thing that we should definitely be smoking weed and listening to. Like, you would be a weed guru with this stuff.
There's a geezer with a sticker factory in Kettering now who's writing all these down. This is gold!
Have you got any profound thoughts for me?
Well, I'd just like when you're standing on a train platform and they go, any unattended items will be destroyed without warning. And I'm always like,
wow.
That is a warning.
Yeah.
It makes no sense to me.
Does that include a child?
Is a child an item?
I bet you'd sell a lot of children's T-shirts if it just said, I am not an unattended item. Do not destroy.
There's a fantastic website called the New Age Bullshit Generator. And what it does, it takes buzzwords from New Age tweets and it combines them to create, well, syntactically correct, profound-sounding nonsense, such as hidden meaning transforms unparalleled abstract beauty.
It's a Coldplay B-side, isn't it?
The infinite is calling to us via superpositions of possibilities.
These all just sound like Morrissey lyrics. The infinite is calling to us.
I really like them. Perceptual reality transcends subtle truth. And I think we've all felt like that at some point. Consciousness is the growth of coherence and of us. So here's the thing. Canadian researchers asked subjects to rate the various sentences that I've been reading out on a scale of 1 to 5, OK? The statements received an average score of 2.6. Somewhat profound. And the researchers concluded these results indicate that our participants largely failed to detect that the statements are bullshit. Many people can't tell profound truth from complete nonsense. But then again, as a wise man once said, no legs too short to reach the ground. Now, your ancestors could make fire using things that they found. You have something on a tray, and I will give you 20 points to anybody who can start a fire with the things that you have got there.
Can I use my lighter that I've got in my pocket?
Oh, now, look, can't you put that in the lemon? Won't that work?
Supposedly, doesn't it?
Can't you get a charge out of citrus fruit?
You can.
Am I about to?
Not enough to upset yourself, I don't think.
Meanwhile, I'm going to use this to look for a match. Well, does it matter if we open that? Will that help?
You don't want to open it, but you can actually use a can of soda in order to
Is that what it is, then?
fire.
Just a can of fizzy pop?
Just a can of fizzy pop, yeah. If you look at the base of your tin, you can see that it is a concave shape. If you polished that, you would be able to reflect enough sunlight in order to be able to make fire. And in fact, we can demonstrate this in the studio, but obviously we're going to need experts. So we have with us our friends from the Festival of the Spoken Nerd, the science comedy phenomenon. They tour all over the UK and have brought one of their experiments from their show. Please welcome Matt, Steve and Helen, the nerds. I was right, wasn't I, that the tin of pop is a kind of...
Yes, it's almost the right shape to focus light in. This is an actual paraboloid, which is the perfect shape. So we can use this to set fire to something...
Oh, man. Just pointed at me.
We've got a graphic here of the two dishes we've set up. And if you cut one in half, so we can swivel one around, and if you unpeel it, it's just a parabola. And the amazing thing about a parabola is any line which comes directly down, parallel with the axes, will go through exactly the same spot, the focal point. And the same thing works in reverse. So if something emits from the focal point, it will be sent out as a parallel.
That's how the Death Star works, isn't it?
That's essentially the cleverest thing that's ever been said near you, Lee, isn't it?
We're going to give this a go, but please, can you put your sunglasses on?
Because these are going to protect us, aren't they?
So about 200 years ago, this was a party trick where they would put a super hot cannonball at one focal point and gunpowder at the other.
We thought we wouldn't try that.
We asked, and apparently we're not allowed, because it's no longer the past. But they have let us bring a heat lamp and nitrocellulose, so that's flash cotton.
This will be the past one day, you know.
Not on Dave.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Don't worry, it's not right in my eyes.
You sort of...
Sorry, my question is, what's your worst nightmare?
I don't have nightmares. I just occasionally have dreams that are quite stressful.
Oh, like what?
Increasingly, they involve having to do my A-levels again.
Oh.
For some reason, I've been busted back to the sixth form, and I have to do my A-levels again. I keep saying, this is ridiculous. I've been to university. Why am I having to do my A-levels again? But I do have to do them again. And I wake up all stressed by it.
And then have to go to the toilet.
Yeah. It's quite nice, because I reflect as I go to the toilet that I don't have to do my A-levels again. So that's good news.
Are you a nightmare person, Alan?
No, but I wish I had a dream recorder.
They're boring, though, when people tell you their dreams. They're so
No, not
boring.
other people's dreams. I don't want other people's dreams. My own dreams are amazing.
People always go, oh, my hands were made of coleslaw, and then you were in it, and you had, like, really big, and you're like, this is so boring.
Have you ever been, when you hear someone describe their dream and they mention someone's in it, and then you sit there rather hoping that you're going to crop up in it? And then you don't always, and you sort of go, oh, I've not invaded this person's consciousness enough.
Sometimes I have dreams where I need to fight someone and I have no strength, and I'm supposed to get someone and I can never get there, and I'm impressed by all the various obstacles I can put in my own way that I invent in the night.
But those are the most common sort of ones. The thing about being chased, not being able to get to the toilet in time. Being exposed publicly naked is a very big thing, and how you respond to that. So if it doesn't bother you, that suggests you are secure in real life. If you're embarrassed, it suggests you are uncomfortable about something. If you don't notice that you're naked, I think you have a lack of self-awareness, is, I think, what it would probably be. Do you sleep on your left or your right side? Because that may have some impact on whether you dream or not.
Do most people have one side?
Oh. Are you a tosser and turner?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, my God, this is a dream, and you're going to wake up and go to the toilet in a minute. We're all in your dream.
So what did you say, left or right?
Right.
OK, so that fits with the study that they did in 2004. You are more likely to have disturbing dreams if you sleep on your left-hand side than if you sleep on your right-hand side.
So I'm good. So you toss and turn.
It could be either way. I didn't realise. Now I'm making a choice.
Yes.
You know, am I just going for rest or adventure?
What side does your wife sleep on?
I'm not aware of her having a preference for one side
So
or the other.
you have one side of the bed, right? Like,
yeah.
Surely... See, I...
Yeah, I'm not an idiot.
So my husband makes me sleep facing away from him because I breathe too loudly.
That's quite weird, isn't it?
Well, like those two in the picture.
Oh, yeah.
When I got married, another thing I found out, that it wasn't usual to put your underwear and your socks on before you put any of your clothes on.
Well, you're supposed to put it on afterwards.
No. I put my
superhero.
I put my underwear on, and then I put my socks on, and then I put my outerwear on.
OK, and what's wrong with that?
Well, apparently it's weird to put your socks on before you put your trousers and your top on.
I think your husband is telling you that things he does are things that everyone does.
Yeah.
It is perfectly reasonable to put your socks on before your trousers.
It's
or
also perfectly reasonable to breathe while you're asleep.
Let's try a parlour game to get us started. One Victorian parlour game was called Taboo. You were asked a question and had to answer without using a taboo letter of the alphabet. Our taboo letter tonight is obviously N, so please answer the following questions without using the letter N. Matt, name a tasty yellow fruit grown mostly in the Caribbean and Central America. In the Philippines, its name has been corrupted to bayabas.
Is it, a ba'a? I'm trying to think what's nice and yellow. Crisps. I'm going for crisps.
It's a tasty yellow fruit.
Yeah.
So, no, the answer is guava. Oh. Is the answer we were
Oh, there is an
looking for.
answer.
There is an answer.
I've been playing this game wrong for years.
It isn't banana at all. The answer is guava, the fruit that we were looking for. In the Philippines, it has been corrupted to bayabas. Do you know what the Filipinos call bananas?
No.
They call them bananas. I could have got you with that one, had you fallen for it. Susan, what do you call a woman who looked after Victorian children whose mothers were social equals but couldn't be asked to do the job themselves?
Well, I would call them the help.
Which is nice, but not the correct term.
Well, then I would call them... You've got such a gaze, son.
Andy. It's like the Eye of Sauron.
Sorry, but Sauron's got an N in it.
I would have said the nanny or a governess.
Yes.
I was essentially cajoled into that.
You were. So, not nanny, obviously, because how many N's have we got there?
At least 2.
At least 2. Also, not socially equal, the nanny. It's au pair.
Oh, no, I almost...
Au pair, been around.
Josh,
How annoying,
don't
isn't it?
start with your own. Oh, it was on the tip of my tongue there.
It's been around since the 1840s, the word au pair. Well, it literally means social equal, au pair.
Does it?
Yeah.
Have you met our social equals? He's really, really fit. He's only run off with the social equal.
So, nobody doing very well, but I'm relying on Josh to get this one right.
Watch and learn.
OK, here we go. What do you call a Roman Catholic religious woman who has taken simple vows of poverty, chastity and obedience?
Is it the au pair? That was guava.
Oh, it's difficult, isn't it, now?
Yeah.
Yeah, not so quick with the answers now.
Tracy? I'll go on then. None.
Yeah. So here's the thing. The answer is a sister. So a nun has taken solemn vows, but a sister has taken simple vows. It's a technical difference to do with the repudiation of property. So a nun's solemn vow repudiates property absolutely. A sister's simple vow allows her to reserve an interest. Hedging her bets, Josh. Hedging her bets, that one. Right, Alan.
Yes.
Name any of the digits in the common emergency telephone number. So there's an emergency number which is...
999.
999.
They're great guys. They're great guys.
But the common emergency telephone number is 112.
Is it?
Yeah, so you can use it on a mobile phone, even if it's locked or you haven't got a SIM card.
It has got ends in 112.
Well, I asked you to name any of the digits in the common emergency number. And so you could have said 2.
Oh, my word.
2.
Well, it's Christmas, so Alan wins that one. There we go. What is the worst thing you can do on a bed of nails?
Fall from a great height.
I would think.
I'd say an orgy. I'd say to get nailed on some nails would be a terrible thing.
Well, here's the thing. So I think you could have an orgy if you were fantastically careful about how you got on and off.
Are we talking about the nails or the people?
It's about the even distribution of weight across the nails.
It is.
So...
I did do this. I went on a bed of nails with a contortionist. What a night that was.
I filmed it.
And he showed me how to lie down. It's all right if you're lying down, but he said, be very careful, because your instinct when you get up is to put your weight on your hands.
Yeah.
And then that really hurts a lot.
When I was at school one afternoon, for some reason, some circus skills people came round and tried to teach us all circus skills.
I love the heavy note of disapproval in your voice. Absolute waste of bloody time!
I was 7. You can learn circus skills later. What I needed was maths. And they came round and said, you know, tried to teach us how to juggle. We couldn't juggle. Tried to put clown makeup on. Some of us had an allergic reaction, you know. But one of the things was the bed of nails, and they taught us how to lie on a bed of nails. And the way you lie on a bed of nails is you just lie on it and it's fine.
It's about getting on and off. You're absolutely right. So let's have a look and see, test this out. If you've got a very small bed of nails underneath the desk there, if you bring it out.
I'm not going on the bottom.
Now, what if you would take a seat?
Take a balloon and place the balloon on the bed of nails. Now, apply the pressure evenly.
That actually clearly is a condom.
See, that's your big problem with having an orgy on a bed of nails.
If you press down on the wood evenly, it can withstand it for quite a long time.
Can I put some real weight on it?
Burst it, burst it.
Go on, here we go.
You've done, look, a lot.
I'll try again.
A fantastic amount of pressure.
Great, I've got condom up my nose.
Again.
OK. Put your bed beds of nails away. Let's have a quick look. We've got some video here of a woman. Now, look how she gets on. OK, now watch. This is actually slightly terrifying. So she lies on the bed of nails, and then an anvil left over from the Roadrunner cartoons. I know.
Anvil in the boobs is worse than some nails in the back.
Yeah. And rather pleasingly, a couple of spots which have been nicely popped there.
Maybe that's going to be the new pampering. You know, it turns out that's
nails.
really good for the skin. You just get on the nails, anvil, couple of guys with some hammers.
Yeah, there are 3 places called Fort Nonsense, but only one called Nowhere. What's the official name for the middle of nowhere? There's a place in the world that is the middle of nowhere.
Well, Croydon. I'm from Croydon, so I can say that, OK?
It's the centre of the least populated bit.
You're absolutely in the right area. So where would you find the least number of people? Not necessarily on the land, maybe?
Oh, so the ocean.
It's a part of the Pacific. It is as far from land as it is possible to get on the Earth, and it's called Point Nemo. It is 1,700 miles from any coast, named, of course, after the submarine captain in 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
And there's a Starbucks there, right?
Yeah, there's a Starbucks. Nemo, Latin rendering of the ancient Greek utus, meaning nobody. It's also known as the oceanic pole of inaccessibility, and here is the extraordinary thing. You'd think there's nothing there, but it is a spacecraft graveyard. There are more than 160 spacecraft littering the ocean floor there. I'd say they're mostly Russian. So here's the thing. It's much cheaper to allow the orbit to decay naturally than to push it out into space. But when they know they're going to do this to a spacecraft, they have to see if there are any sailors in the area and ring them or contact them by radio and make sure that they know. And if you pass Point Nemo at the right time of day, you'll be closer to the astronauts on the space station, 250 miles away, than to any other human being on Earth. Wow. Isn't that extraordinary? Now, describe nature's top gear.
Nature's drugs.
Oh, is that a thing? Drugs?
Gear, you know, your gear, man.
Gear. Don't...
I think I got some top gear for you.
It's not gear in the sense of drugs. What kind of gears are there?
The cogs
in a
or
car?
something?
Yes,
like, yeah.
yes. Nature is full of tremendous wonders, and nothing, I think, more wonderful than the immature plant hopper or a nymph and gears. Now, you can't really tell because it's a massive picture, but they're only 3 millimetres long.
I'm really glad that's a massive picture.
They tend on the whole to move very slowly because they don't want to attract attention, which is really sweet. But they are able to jump up to 1 metre from a standing start. So that is 300 times their own body length. Imagine if it was me, I would be able to jump from a standing start 1/3 of a mile.
I'd love to see that.
And now, the thing is, if you jump that far and you don't get your timing spot on, you spiral out of control. So they have little tiny, tiny gears that enable them to synchronise their legs within 30 millionths of a second. You can see here, at the top of each hind leg has a circular set of minute teeth, and just before takeoff, the insect's thighs, they squeeze together. You can see they're kind of ratcheting up, causing the teeth to mesh like gears, and the legs are then locked together, and then they can thrust off like that in perfect unison.
It's amazing.
It's amazing, but it looked like CCTV of it, so I wondered if he'd committed a crime.
Scene fleeing the scene.
In 2011, in Papua New Guinea, they found a weevil whose legs are screwed into the body.
That is such a phallus sticking out.
It is.
There. I'm really struggling with everything else on the screen.
You could take the front legs off while it was sleeping, put it on the back.
Interchangeable nut, I want that one.
Why do you think they might do this?
It takes its legs off.
No, it doesn't take them off. It's able to
tightens them.
Tighten them, so it can pull along the length of the leg in order to make it rotate in its socket. So they can rotate the back legs 130 degrees and get a better grip, or they can rotate the front 90 degrees and get a better grip.
Why haven't we evolved to do that?
Because you'd get drunk, you'd put your legs on wrong, and you'd go, I'm off! Oof, when you shoot off that leg.
Fingers on buzzers. Where is this cheese from? I'll give you a clue. It begins with S. Alan.
Shropshire.
I don't know what made you think of it.
Sometimes, you know, sometimes you say the obvious one, and then you go, yes, Never to me.
It doesn't come from Shropshire. Anything else? It begins with an S, does not come from Shropshire.
Spain, Sussex, Surrey, Scotland.
Scotland, it comes from Scotland. It absolutely does. It was originally called Inverness-shire Blue or Blue Stewart, and I don't know why they thought if they renamed it Shropshire, people would be more likely to buy it. So it was a PR job.
So is it quite a recent invention?
It's a fairly recent cheese, yeah. Rather like Stinking Bishop.
Oh, yeah, that's like a made-up oldie-worldy thing, isn't
It's 1973 it was
like
invented.
hobnobs. They're quite recent.
Are they?
Yeah, the hobnobs. Oh, that's an old biscuit. I'll have a hobnob. It's about something like 1981. I resent the hobnob's quick entry into sort of... It's a quick biscuit to refer to. In a joke, you go, oh, a hobnob or whatever. No, hobnob, you're new. Leave the biscuit references to the rich tea and the digestive. They've done the time. It's like the bloody ploughman's lunch. Add executives' inventions.
And tonight's show was sponsored by Hobnobs. To whom we can only apologise. Stinking Bishop is actually named after the perry, so the pear drink that it's steeped in.
Right.
And the pear itself was bred by a man called Mr. Bishop, and he was so bad-tempered he was known as Stinking Bishop. So bad-tempered that once his kettle failed to boil as fast as he wanted it to, so he shot it.
And then he pissed it.
But does anybody know the price of the most expensive cheese in the world? It's called Poule.
€1,000.
You're not far off. It is £700 a pound.
What's so special about it?
It's made from donkey milk. So I don't know if you've ever tried to milk a donkey, but... it tastes...
Kicks in the face a lot.
You have to dress as an ice hockey goalkeeper.
25 litres of donkey milk to make 1 kilo of cheese of the Poule. So
Is it very delicious?
I've never had it. It's rather crumbly, apparently, and meant to be a delicacy. And it would be at that price. You wouldn't want to have a lot. You wouldn't want to think, oh, I'm tired, just open the fridge. Cracker, fantastic.
Melt it on toast.
Yes.
I bought a rather nice lump of some sort of fancy cheddar, and it was in a waxy dome, you know.
Baby Bell.
Not a Baby Bell. Baby Bell. Let me know.
Could have been a very old Baby Bell. Like a pre-war Baby Bell.
Really big. Anyway, it cost quite a lot. And I thought I'm going to enjoy that. And then when I came home, my wife had grated it on the kids' jacket potatoes. She couldn't understand my indignation. You see, it's just that ridiculous. We're in the kitchen going, that's a very expensive cheese!
She said, it's a Baby Bell.
Don't you not want some points or not? Charles is
Well, that's
writing it
very
down.
difficult to say yes or no.
What do you reckon?
There's 3 negatives.
Yes. Don't you not want some points or not? Do you not want some...
Do you not want some points?
Or not?
Do you not...
Do you not?
Well, we also don't know whether he does or not.
Yes.
Don't you not want some points?
Points or not?
Or not?
Do not want points.
So here's the thing.
It's true to say that I do not want points.
Yes. So, or not would mean that you do...
You'd say, do you want points or not?
No, yes, but...
So the answer is... Well, there's 2 questions.
No, it's just one question with one answer, but I just tell you now, one answer has a klaxon and one doesn't. I think I'm giving too much away here.
Can we help
The
him?
show's nearly over. I'm filibustering.
Just,
You asked the question in English.
I did, yes.
English, there are 500,000 words in the Oxford English Dictionary. It is the largest language in the world.
Yes.
1,000 times no.
Oh, yes. Have you thought about today?
Yes.
Yes is the right answer!
The right answer.
Oh.
It's not a yes-no question.
No, that's what I thought.
Well, but fundamentally, yes is better than no, is where we were heading. Although I was enjoying Giles's...
But curiously, the answer would have been different.
I didn't mean I'd come back to it.
No.
I wasn't enjoying it that much.
But interestingly, the answer in French would have been yes. Oh, no, no.
In French, you could have said, I don't know, which is je ne sais pas, which is a double negative. Or...
But if you translated, what did you originally say?
Is it too early to lose the will to live?
I'm extremely concerned, Sandy,
Yes.
that you,
yes,
a role model for women everywhere,
yes,
should, in fleshing out the double negative, come out with a statement broadly, yes is better than no. That's not what I'll be telling my daughter.
There's a lot of these in pop, aren't there? A lot of these in pop and rock lyrics.
Yes.
There's lots of I can't get no satisfaction.
Yes, there is. And if it's a positive double negative, like Tom Jones's It's Not Unusual, that's fine, OK? Because basically...
Why is that fine?
Well, it never used to be a problem, the double negative. And then in the 18th century, they became obsessed with mathematics, and it's to do with mathematics.
Oh.
So they began to codify the language as being illogical if it didn't fit with mathematical thinking. So in mathematics, minus a minus is a plus.
Oh, do this in Danish.
OK? Yeah. Så de tænkte mange år siden, at... I can do it. No, I won't do it now.
If you do that, I think I've had a stroke.
No.
I always just think there's a body being found as soon as I
You can almost feel the wind on the bridge. Here's a question that everybody is gagging to know the answer to. What noise does a frog on helium make?
On helium?
Yes.
Oh, I love you, Miss Piggy.
You've got a frog in your throat. Yeah.
Yes. Hey, Corey, if you want a klaxon, I reckon if you did a high-pitched ribbit, I reckon
Try
it
that.
would get
Try
one.
and say ribbit.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I might need a tissue.
It's rare you see so much pleasure at failure. It's fantastic.
So good.
I reckon nobody knows, because as soon as you fill them with helium, and then oof, and they're off.
Yeah, you can just see it going...
1993, scientists made 3 different species of frog inhale helium because clearly party's not gone that well, nobody's turned up. Scientists with poor social skills, I'm going to guess.
We've finished, but we can't leave till 5.
Yes.
So, anything you've always wanted to do.
And it has no effect on frogs whatsoever. And the reason is that frogs don't use the resonance of the air inside their vocal tract to vocalise, the way we do. They seem to create resonance by using their skin instead, and that is not affected by helium. OK, so having that piece of information in your heads, what do you think would happen if you asked a dinosaur to suck on a party balloon?
I think he'd be like, I died thousands of years ago. This is a dream.
It would sound like...
Actually, Corey, you would be right, because you obviously can't try it out on dinosaurs. So, 2015, the same experiment was tried on a Chinese alligator, which was as close as they could get by Austrian scientists. And it turns out, pumping helium into the tank of a Chinese alligator affects her voice as it does ours. So let's have a listen to the before and then straight away the after with the helium.
So it's lower.
To make it lower.
Well, the thing is, it just changes the timbre. What helium doesn't do is people think it makes your voice higher, and it doesn't. Every voice, as you will know, is a mix of frequencies. So all it does is it causes some of those frequencies in humans, the higher ones, to be amplified so we can just hear them more. But it doesn't actually make the voice any higher. Apparently, because it's true of alligators, it must be true of dinosaurs because of the alligator being a
That would be a really bad, like, next Jurassic Park, like the third one.
Thank you for watching. Do remember to subscribe to the QI channel and click here to watch more videos. Well, please, come on, pick something.